gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Spirit, draw near. Spirit, draw near.
Good evening, beautiful spirits, and welcome to our Neighborhood Unitarian Universalist congregation. Thank you all for joining us. My name is Deb Bertizon, and it's such a pleasure to be able to weave this very special service that we're having tonight. You know, I believe that we pick up on other people's energy. And this can be, you can pick up on energy of folks that are close in proximity or far away. So let's start our service by grounding ourselves. And I invite you to take your hand and form a peace sign and place it on your heart while breathing in through your nose, whispering the word love. And as you exhale through your mouth, raise the peace sign, saying the word peace. And we're going to do this 3 times. And I invite you to think of anyone that you know, or maybe you don't know, who is suffering, and offer this peace and love to them. So here we go. Yes, and as we ground, let's connect with the hearts, minds, and spirits of those present here and throughout the planet and the universe. Connect with that loving energy that mingles together, and be present and open to all that will be. And now that we've grounded, let's create and then enter sacred space. And to assist us in bringing us to our threshold moment, I invite you to join me in reciting Neighborhood's Invocation. That will be, there we go. Let us cast a circle of a sacred space here. Let us cast a circle of a cherished space here. A space of safety, a place of forgiveness. For ourselves and our families. Now that I've lit our chalice, please join us as we sing our chalice lighting song. We light this chalice to remember, to light the fire within our own hearts. Over to you, Sean.
If you look into the night sky, you might see twinkling lights up there, and people have wondered about these lights, of course, since time immemorial, probably before people were people. And some of them move in strange ways, and this was kind of our beginning of an introduction to the broader universe that's out there, that is kind of the focus tonight. And this is a song I wrote a little while back about a particularly important object who kind of provides us with protection and is this remarkable unification of the science and spirituality, at least for me. And that's Jupiter. She brings peace as she wanders our sky. She gazes out with her benevolent eye. In her train, she brings along her fierce debris. But she pulls them in, and so defends both you and me. No, she is not some god of war. With her body, she shields us from the storm. Without her, none of us could ever be. The skies would rain with fire and calamity. But she brings hope as up in our sky she glows. Through the night, she rides along the dreaming road. No, she is not some god of war. With her body, she shields us from the storm. She shields us from the storm. No, she is not some god of war with her body. She shields us from the storm.
Thank you, Sean and Suzanne and Andrew. Well, here we are. Tonight and always, let us not forget that this congregational building is on the traditional land and territories of the Wendat, the Anishinaabe, the Mississauga, and the Haudenosaunee nations. I offer my gratitude to all of our First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people for their teachings about relations, community, care for Mother Earth, and peace. I'm also mindful of the broken governments and the need to strive to make right with all of our relations by speaking the truth about the land and other stolen lands. Please take a moment to reflect upon the land that you are currently sitting and where you reside. Thank you. I'd also like to express some gratitude for tonight's team, who have been working really hard to put together something special for you tonight. And we hope that it will fulfill some of the needs and the desires that you arrived with. Our musical director here at Neighbourhood is Suzanne Mazars. Where'd she go? Oh. Our Director of Lifespan Learning is Julia Thompson. Tonight's Cosmic Walk ritual will be led by Neighbourhood members Bruce Line and Natalie Zen, along with Suzanne. Our guest musicians here are Andrew Kay and our very own, well, and Suzanne, of course. She's always there. And our very own Sean Thomas and Laura Thomas on piano. The Spiral and Mandela has been created by Julia Thompson and Valerie Moisey. Julia is also going to be our Cosmic Walker this evening. We have Gordon Thorne at the AV desk in the back. And if you feel that it might be helpful for you to use an assisted listening device, check in with Gordon and he'll hook you up. There he is over at the back. Linda Robertson is organizing snacks for after the ritual. And finally, Twyla Kawalenko is our DJ tonight. She'll be getting us into our bodies and taking us on a musical meditative dance journey. More on that later. Parents with young children may want to take advantage of our optional wiggle room, which is over there. The light is not on, but if anyone is interested in taking that, just know that you can hear from in there. Everything is piped in, but we can't hear you. And there was light? Yeah. I think so, yeah. Here at Neighbourhood, we're open to many beliefs and learn from many traditions. We welcome all people looking for a spiritual community. We gather every Sunday at 10:30 for service, and we're offering an open invitation to you all. Our services can vary from week to week, so we encourage you to sample a few to get to know us better and to know what we do. We also have service on Zoom. So, to learn a little bit more about us, for starters, our mission here at Neighbourhood is to empower spiritual growth and shared action for the care of the world. Our theme for December has been Many Paths, and tonight's gathering features the path of the cosmic walk, as we prepare to begin the new year by returning to our beginnings. I've participated in a number of cosmic walks over the year, and I am moved in a different way each time I do it. At first, I thought this was because, I've been a Trekkie since I was a child. Are there any other, I hear giggles, are there any other Trekkies? Yes. Now, some people call us nerds, but, I'm really okay with that label. Anyway, that's not the takeaway that I want you to leave with for the evening. Star Trek ignited my imagination and fascination about the vastness of the universe and the awe-inspiring diversity and splendor within it. And as you'll see tonight, as I began doing cosmic walks, it became humbling to understand just how small and young I am. We all are. And yet, we're also really relevant. One reason is because that we share atoms. We now know not only have, and I want to get this correct. Not only do we each have hundreds of billions of atoms that were once, sorry, I got to do that one again. Here's what we now know. Not only do we each have hundreds of billions of atoms that were once in everybody else's bodies, but we have approximately one atom in our body from every breath that every human has ever taken. I know, right? Don't get me started on photosynthesis, The point is that we're interconnected, and that's both a privilege and a responsibility that I think we should all be taking very seriously. Our seventh UU principle is the respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. Imagine how different our planet would be if we all did. And that, my friends, is the takeaway that I hope you leave with tonight. Gene Roddenberry, visionary and creator of Star Trek, once said, "I believe in humanity. We are an incredible species. We're still a child creature. We're still being nasty to each other. All children go through those phases. We're growing up. We're moving into adolescence now. When we grow up, man, we're going to be something." Man, I hope he's right. So as a way of inviting you to connect with those here with us all today, or tonight, Natalie will lead us in an exercise from the Work That Connects, which is a form of group work developed by eco-philosopher Joanna Macy and friends.
Thanks, Deb. So this is an adaptation of an exercise called the milling, and I'll guide you in it in 3 silent encounters with people sitting near you. We've come together today in a very busy holiday time, the hustle and bustle, perhaps of shopping, of family and social gatherings. We've been busy with people to see, places to go. There's just not a lot of time to stop or slow down and really take in the people around us. So I invite you now to Open your awareness to those around you in this room, people you know, people you don't yet know. You might begin to look around and see the faces around you. And silently, I'm going to invite you to bring your attention to somebody near you. It might be someone to your left or your right or behind you or in front of you. You might need to move a little bit, maybe to another seat. And just without talking, if it feels okay for you, I invite you to take their right hand in yours. And if it doesn't, you can bow or decline with a shake of your head. But if it feels okay, you can just take their right hand in yours. You don't need to lock eyes. You can simply relax your gaze and open your awareness to the whole person in front of you. Just take their presence in with your awareness. This person is alive on planet Earth at the same time as you, born into the same period of crisis, danger, and injustice. And this person has chosen to be here today, has chosen to put aside other activities and tasks to be here. There are plenty of other things they could do on this day, but they've chosen to be here to connect with our universe story. Allow yourself to feel grateful for this person's choice to be here. And you can silently acknowledge them with a gesture, and then just return to your own space, the sensation of your body resting on what you're sitting on, your feet, connecting with the floor. You can return to your breath. And just feel the ripples in your body of that experience, of taking in the presence of that other person. And I invite you now to find another person. Again, you might need to move, maybe someone on the other side. But find another person, if you're willing. Yeah, feel free to move around to another chair. And we're doing this silently, just silently find someone. It's all right if you're standing. And if you're comfortable, you can take their right hand in yours. If not, just decline with a nod. You are taking in the presence of someone who has a good clue what's going on in our world. They know that forests are being clear-cut and burnt to the ground, that entire species are disappearing forever, that our climate is becoming dangerously unstable. Open to this person's awareness of the danger and suffering that surrounds and affects us all in countless ways. This person knows what is going on, yet they haven't closed their eyes. They haven't turned away. Allow yourself to experience respect for their courage. And with a gesture, you can acknowledge your parting. If you've moved, you can return to your seat. And again, just bring yourself back to the sensation of your body in contact with the ground. You can rest your awareness with your breath for a couple of breaths. And just feel the emotions, the sensations that are alive in you after that last encounter. And now I'm going to invite you to find a third and last person, a new person, for a final encounter. Feel free to move again. And still silently, we will have a chance to talk in a moment, but silently find that last person. And if you're comfortable, you can face each other and put your hands together, palm to palm, if it feels all right for you, at shoulder height. Before you stands someone living on a beautiful, fragile, and poisoned planet. In their body, as in yours, are toxins that can bring cancer and immune disease. This person, like you, can die from a flood, a fire, a drought, a nuclear accident. We can face this together. We must not let our common danger separate us. Let it bond us. And just keep breathing. And now there's another thing to see in this face, in this person. Allow your awareness to open to the real possibility that this person will play a pivotal role in creating a life-sustaining human presence on the planet. They have the gifts, the strengths, the motivation. Allow that possibility to enter your mind and let them know how you feel about it with a gesture. And I invite you to stay where you are. You can lower your hands, lower or close your eyes just for a moment. Take a moment to return to yourself and your breath, the sensations in your body. Just experience the ripples. Take a moment to reflect on what you've experienced. And staying with that last person, I invite you to take a minute or so each to share about what you experienced. So if you were in a group of 3, one person might want to raise a hand and see if you can find one other person. It'll be easier in pairs. Just raise your hand if you don't have a partner. And the person with the longest hair can share first. We'll sound a chime. We'll sound a chime to start. And you can share about your experience. The other person will simply listen until you hear that chime again. Then you'll switch. Again, the other person will have a chance to share until you hear the chime a third time. And the first person can share. And you can switch now. The second person can share about their experience, and the other can just listen. And with a gesture, you can acknowledge each other and what's being shared, and part and return back to your seats. Thank you, everyone, for participating in that.
So, an activity like that, I think, I know for myself, I've got stuff stirring around. So I'm just going to give us all a moment, invite us all to take a moment and just settle back into our bodies and allow ourselves to find that place of stillness, so that we can bring our full awareness to what is yet to come here. So with that in mind, I would just invite you to notice first of all your body. Just notice how you're sitting. Notice if you want to maybe adjust your posture, find a way of sitting that is comfortable, feels grounded. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your weight in the chair. And just notice that what's always happening in our bodies without any thought or any real effort is, generally without any thought or effort, is our breath. Just bring your attention to your breathing. And if you will, as you bring your attention to your breathing, just notice the sensation of the air as it comes in through your nostrils, down into your chest, down into your belly, and then back out again. Take one final breath in and out. And it's over. This is me, right? Okay. So I want to welcome you all to the Cosmic Walk. This is a ritual that was created by Sister Miriam Therese McGillis of Genesis Farm, New Jersey, back in the 1980s. It was designed to celebrate the new story of creation, the scientific story of creation, as we currently understand it, as our cosmic creation story. Since that time, this ritual has been observed all over the world in many different settings, including among practitioners of Active Hope and the Work That Reconnects, and students of Joanna Macy and her colleague, deep ecologist John Seed. Other Unitarian Universalist congregations have offered it as well. Some, such as UU Santa Fe, observe it annually on New Year's Eve. We thought we'd get ahead of them by one day. The Eastminster United Church, who shares this building with us, recently offered it as well. Our spiral labyrinth is 42 meters long, from the start of the lights at this end all the way into the center. Every 3 meters represents 1 billion years, which gives us roughly the age of our universe, 13.7 billion years. It's worth noting that a new study by Rajendra Gupta a physicist from the University of Ottawa, shows that the universe may actually be 27 billion years old. So who knows? We might have to make the spiral longer or the scale shorter. But for now, our cosmic walk is going to reflect the scientific understanding that is still most widely accepted. Julia Thompson will be our cosmic walker today. She will walk the spiral for us. As she walks along the timeline into the center of the spiral, she's walking back in time to the very beginning of things. And as she walks outwards along the spiral, she will be traveling forward in time along this timeline, lighting a candle to mark each point in time where something important changed.
Mystery generates wonder, and wonder generates awe. Julia, will you begin walking back in time to the center, to the very beginning of it all? Today, we take a glimpse of the beauty of our cosmic universe story. It is the story of the universe. It's the story of our Earth. It's the story of humankind. It is your story, and it is my story. In the beginning, it was dark. In the beginning was the mystery, the quantum foam of potentiality. Through the mystery, all things came to be. Not one thing has its being except through the mystery. From the great mystery, all of us come into being. From the void and the dark come the light and the spark.
Some 13.7 billion years ago, a great ball of fire expands outward into the creation of our universe. Space and time, shadow and light, and the universe expands. As the universe expands, it begins to cool. After about 1 million years, things cool sufficiently for hydrogen and helium to bring with them new forms of matter. And the great mystery is there from the beginning in the relationship between these things.
It underscores the miracle of it all. A billion years later, galaxies come forth. Stars are born, they live and they die. Larger stars in their death throes explode to become supernovas. As they blast out into the cosmos, supernovas create within themselves the elements of life. And the great mystery is there in creation and destruction.
$8 billion years later, 4.6 billion years ago, our grandmother star becomes a supernova. She gives up her life in an explosion of possibilities. This gives rise to our star, what we call the sun. The grandmother star was huge in comparison to her child. And when she exploded, she formed a ball nearly 5 million times the diameter of the sun. And the great mystery was there in her sacrifice.
$4.5 billion years ago, our solar system forms from the remains of the supernova explosion. The sun and a great disk of matter emerge, all the planets and other members of our solar system family. Here begins the story of what will become one blue and white pearl of a planet. The great bombardment begins as comets and meteorites pelt the Earth's thickening crust as it cools. The moon is born when the Earth is impacted by a Mars-sized body, which causes the Earth to tilt 23 degrees to the side, giving rise to the seasons of the year. And the great mystery is there in the cycles of the Earth and the moon.
4.4 to 4.1 billion years ago, over hundreds of millions of years, the Earth grows from dust particles to a large, hot, molten planet with a thin, rocky crust. The crust thickens and cracks, and exuberant volcanoes expel seething, deep Earth magma to the surface. As steam condenses over the Earth, the miracle of rain and weather cycles begin on Earth. The first rain begins to fall. Torrential rains fall on and on and on until rivers run over the land and pool in shallow, island-studded seas. And the great mystery is there in the rains and the weather cycles.
$4 billion years ago, the rich chemical brew brings forth invisibly small creatures we call bacteria. Earth comes alive, and the mystery is present in the first living cells.
3.9 billion years ago, those bacteria in the first living cells run out of free food supplies. And so they invent new ways to capture the light and the energy of the sun, which they then use to create new sources of food from water and simple minerals. Cells create a new molecule, chlorophyll, which makes photosynthesis possible. And the great mystery is there in photosynthesis. In the process, however, they give off oxygen, at that time a poisonous and corrosive gas that will eventually pile up in the atmosphere and threaten all of life.
2.7 billion years ago, oxygen-loving cells emerge. The first global environmental crisis is averted by the creativity of these tiny cellular creatures who invent a use for the previously toxic oxygen. They breathe it in as we do and use it as energy. Oxygen levels continue to rise until they reach near present-day levels. And the mystery is there in creative response to crisis.
Two billion years ago, the first nucleated cell emerges. Individual bacteria begin to specialize and cooperate. Within one cell, some parts make food, other parts move the organism here and there. The individual parts become less independent, but more secure as inseparable parts of new wholes. These organisms are of the same stuff of all the plants and animals today. And the great mystery is there in cooperation.
$1.5 billion years ago, crisis conditions arise, such as food shortages, lack of moisture, and extreme temperatures. Hungry ancestral organisms learn to eat each other. Sometimes these tiny cellular beings cannot digest what they've devoured, and so a type of sexual union arises. Previously, reproduction had taken place by cells growing and dividing. But with the evolution of sex, the genetic possibilities for life increase enormously. Each new generation is now different from either parent, and death is invented. And the great mystery is there in sex and in death.
1 billion years ago, predator organisms increasingly learned to use complex biomolecules of their prey organisms, thereby saving themselves the effort of making their own. This quickens the dance between predator and prey, a dance that promotes the vast diversity of life. And the mystery is there, in the diversity of emerging life.
700 million years ago, the first multicellular organisms emerge. Some organisms begin living together in colonies, finding ways to communicate with each other using chemical messages. And the great mystery is there, in community.
"600 million years ago, light-sensitive eye spots evolve into eyesight, perhaps in an ancestor of the trilobite. The Earth sees herself for the very first time. The first animals evolve in the ocean, and they are soft-bodied. Over the next 70 million years, these previously naked animals begin to protect themselves with shells. Jaws, beaks, and skeletons follow suit. And the great mystery is there in the seeing and in the protecting."
460 million years ago, leaving the water, animals such as worms and mollusks and crustaceans seek the adventure of breathing air, braving weather, and raising themselves up against gravity. Algae and fungi venture ashore as well. The first plants evolve as mosses. Insects evolve with nearly weightless bodies which permit them to take to the air as the first flying animals. And the great mystery is there in the mosses, the algae, the fungi, the insects, and the miracle of flight.
395 million years ago, the first amphibian animals hop and lumber onto land. They trade in their gill slits for air-breathing lungs and transform their fins into stubby legs. But they continue to return to the water to lay their eggs. Frogs and toads and their kin come into being, and the great mystery is there in the amphibians.
335 million years ago, the first forests evolve. Over generations, these forests load themselves with carbon extracted from the atmosphere, which later becomes fossilized as coal and oil. As the forests spread, amphibians transform into pre-reptilian creatures with the grand innovation of self-contained eggs that allow them to move inland. The great age of reptilians begins, and the great mystery is there in the forests and the reptiles.
235 million years ago, following the fourth and greatest mass extinction on our planet, the end of the Permian period is followed by the emergence of dinosaurs. For 170 million years, these creatures flourish. Dinosaurs, sometimes as large as 40 meters, are social animals that often travel and hunt in groups. Dinosaurs develop a behavioral novelty previously unknown in the reptilian world: parental care. Some of the dinosaurs carefully bury their eggs and stay with the young after they hatch. nurturing them toward independence. And the great mystery is there in the dinosaurs and paternal care. Maternal care.
225 million years ago, the first mammals, small and nocturnal, jump, climb, swing, and swim through a world of giants. Some rodent-sized insect eaters evolve lactation, enabling mothers to spend more time in the nest, keeping their young both fed and warm. And the great mystery is present in the mammals.
150 million years ago, birds emerge, direct descendants of the dinosaur, as leg bones evolve into wing bones, jaw bones into beaks, and scales into feathers. They were far larger than today's birds, with wingspans as large as 12 meters across. And the great mystery was there in the birds.
114 million years ago, flowers evolved gorgeous and overt sexual organs, making themselves irresistible to insects by way of colors, perfumes, and delightful nectars. Insects drawn to the nectar unknowingly transport pollen from one flower to the next, fertilizing the plants on which they feed. The earth adorns herself magnificently and invites the sky creatures into a new dance. And the great mystery is there in the flowers.
65 million years ago, shortly after primates appear on the scene, the Cretaceous period ends with the sixth mass extinction after an asteroid 6 miles in diameter hits the Yucatan Peninsula. The atmosphere fills with dust and smoke, leading to a severe drop in temperature. This marks the end of the age of dinosaurs and the beginning of the age of mammals, the Cenozoic era. With the dinosaurs gone, the once sheltered small mammals stride into daylight, moving quickly to occupy available ecological niches. Over the next 60 million years, the Earth greets lions, whales, monkeys, horses, cats and dogs, antelopes, gibbons, orangutans, gorillas, elephants, chimpanzees, camels, bears, pigs, baboons, and the very first humans. And the great mystery is there in the destruction and the creation. And now we're down to the very last inches of our timeline. The remaining candles are all clustered around this last inch.
4 million years ago, hominids leave the forest, stand up, and walk on 2 legs. The savanna offers the challenges and opportunities for these early creatures to evolve into humans as they move over the earth, eventually spreading themselves over all 6 continents.
$100,000 years ago, modern humans finally emerge. Shamanic and goddess religions, art, and language become integral to human life. Spirituality emerges.
$11,000 years ago, agriculture is invented. Humans begin to shape the environment, deciding which species shall live and which shall die.
Starting 4,000 years ago, the classical religions emerged: Hinduism, Confucianism, Judaism, Buddhism, Christianity, and Islam.
250 years ago, scientists begin to calculate the age of the Earth. Humans try to understand how old the Earth is through empirical observation.
70 years ago. 94 years ago, empirical evidence of an expanding universe is discovered. For the first time, humans are aware that we live in a developing universe.
70 years ago, humans discover the double helix of DNA, life's common language.
50 years ago, Earth is photographed as whole from space. The Earth has become complex enough to witness her own integral beauty. And the great mystery is here, in humanity, and each of us, and all together. Today, the story of the universe is being told as our sacred story. It's the story of the great mystery that is in hydrogen, helium, new forms of matter, and the relationship between these things.
Creation and destruction,
Sacrifice,
the cycles of the earth and the moon,
the rains and the weather cycles,
the first living cells,
photosynthesis,
creative response to crisis,
cooperation,
sex and death,
the diversity of life,
community,
seeing and protecting,
the mosses, the algae, the fungi, the insects, and the miracle of flight,
the amphibians,
the forests and the reptiles,
the dinosaurs,
the mammals,
the birds,
the flowers,
the destruction and creation,
the first hominids,
spirituality, art, and language,
agriculture,
the classical religions,
empirical observation,
evidence of an expanding universe,
DNA, life's common language,
the earth, now complex enough to witness her own integral beauty through our eyes. Today, the story of the universe is being told as our sacred story. The flaring forth continues, and the great mystery is here, in this moment, in each of us, in all of us together. This is my story.
and this is my story,
And this is my story.
and this is our story.
I invite you to repeat after me. Spiraling into the center, spiraling into the center of the web, the center of the web, spiraling into the center of the web, spiraling into the center of the web. We are the weavers, we are the woven ones. We are the weavers, we are the woven ones. We are the dreamers, we are the dream. We are the dreamers, we are the dream. We are the weavers, we are the woven ones. We are the dreamers, we are the dream. We are the weavers, we are the woven ones. We are the dreamers, we are the dream. Spiraling into the center of the web, spiraling into the center of the web. We are the weavers, we are the woven ones. We are the dreamers, we are the dream. We are are the woven ones. We are the dreamers, we are the dream. Spiraling into the center of the web. Spiraling into the center of the web. We are the weavers, we are the woven ones. We are the dreamers, we are the dream. We are the weavers, we are the woven ones. We are the dreamers, we're gonna do it one more time. Spiraling into the center of the web. Spiraling into the center of the web. We are the weavers, we are the woven one. We are the dreamers, we are the dream. We are the weavers, we are the woven ones. We are the dreamers, we are the dream. We are the dream. We are the dream. We are the dream.
So for this next moment in this ceremony, this ritual, we're going to call in. We're going to do a calling in. And what we're going to do is we're going to call in our ancestors. We're going to call in the spirit of all those who inhabit the planet with us. And we're going to call in those from the future, beings not yet born. And we do this calling in because it's important as we're shifting our consciousness in a larger way towards the truth about life, is that we are not alone in this life journey, and we are only part of a very long, long, long chain of being. So join with me as we join with me and Deb and Suzanne as we invoke beings of the past, present, and future.
And as you're listening to us, feel free to murmur either in silence or you can say aloud names that come to mind. Be with us now, all who have gone before us. You are ancestors and teachers, both human and more than human. You who swam and crawled, flew and walked, and loved and faithfully tended to the earth. Be present with us now as we approach the turning of the wheel, that we may carry on the legacy you bequeath to us. So again, I invite you either aloud or silently in your heart to say their names and see their faces.
We are a circle within a circle, with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle, with no beginning and never ending. An invocation for the beings of the present. All you with whom we live and work on this endangered planet, be with us now. fellow humans, as well as siblings of other species, call forth our collective will and wisdom. I invite you all present here to speak aloud or silently in your hearts the names and see the faces of those beings of the present. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending.
You who will come after us on this earth, be with us now. We cannot picture your faces or any of your names. You have none yet, but we feel the reality of your claim on life. It helps us to be faithful in the work that must be done, so that there will be for you, as there is for us and was for our ancestors, blue sky, fruitful land, clear waters. I invite you to feel their presence, these beings, both human and more than human, not yet born, all our relations, and feel their presence with us now.
We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending.
And now I would invite you just to continue to hold in your hearts, to feel the presence of those beings from the past, from the present, from the future, and to hold in your heart your commitment to honoring the legacy of those who've gone before, to reaching out to meet the needs of those who are with us now, and to hold, to honor those who have yet to come by doing what needs to be done to ensure that they have a beautiful, prosperous, and future full of life. We're going to give you an opportunity to express that commitment by lighting a candle and placing it in the chalice at the center of the spiral in just a moment. And to show you how this ritual will go, Deb is going to do it for us. So you can see that Deb is lighting her candle from the chalice candle here and walking in towards the center of the spiral. And when she gets to the center, Deb is going to pause for a moment. And don't worry if your candle goes out on the way, you can light it again when you get there. Just going to pause for a moment. Remember her commitment. And then place the candle in the chalice as a reminder to all of us. And she will come back out. So, as Deb returns, my invitation is for any of you who would like to light a candle in honor of those who have gone before us, those who are with us now, or those who are not yet born. Please come up, make a line up here. And I will give you a candle here. Light it. And proceed.
This paper is meant to be a wax catcher to protect you in the floor as you walk up. If you can remove it before you place your candle in the chalice, it'll make more room for everybody's candles.
And I'll place this final candle, both to express my commitment and also to express the commitment, any commitments or any names or any beings who have not yet been considered. Named or otherwise recognized.
We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones, we've been waiting. We are the ones we've been waiting for. 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 We are the ones, we are the ones we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones we've been waiting. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones, we are the ones we've been waiting. We are the ones, we are the ones we've been waiting. Last time, everyone. We are the ones, we are the ones we've been waiting.
And I invite you to join us as we sing our chalice extinguishing song.
Although our chalice has been darkened, we hold the fire within our own hearts.
In a few moments, we'll be concluding, this part of the ritual. We invite you to stay for our DJ'd dance, as I mentioned earlier. This will be a movement meditation where you'll have the opportunity to integrate the experiences of the evening through the DJ'd dance. DJ Twyla will take us on a musical journey, starting slow, nice and slow to ground us, then letting us get into our bodies and move in any ways that feels right to us as the music picks up. There are, and I want to stress this, there are no dance moves to follow, or any way to be for that matter. Just a willingness to allow ourselves to feel curious and playful. So in order to keep to hold space in this container, we'll keep conversations to the cappuccino room through those doors and out of the sanctuary. There's refreshments, as you can see. Thank you again to Linda. So that's our cappuccino room for those of you who don't know. You'll find a basket for donations in the cappuccino room as well, if you haven't already done so. And for those of you who have done so, thank you very much. Wait a second. And a QR code. Oh, okay. And a QR code if you want to take a picture. Wow. For donating online, but okay, but we're not on Zoom. Never mind. Never mind. My mind is out in the universe. DJ Twyla. Oh, I get it. Okay. DJ Twyla will begin to spin some tunes, and we are going to quietly rearrange the spiral to open up the dance floor, and you're welcome to help with that. Again, we're going to do that in a sacred, ritual way and in silence. And now for our closing ritual. As is our tradition here at Neighbourhood, let's form something like a circle. Take your neighbor's hand or touch their shoulder or link arms. Connect physically as we have been spiritually as I give the final blessing. It looks like we're all connected, as we should be. Remember, that's the takeaway. Tonight, I will leave you with this final blessing in the words of Austrian poet Rainer Maria Rilke. We are one generation through thousands of years, mothers and fathers shaped by children to come, who in turn will overtake them. We are endlessly offered into life. All time is ours. This part of our service has ended. Please stay and dance in peace. Blessed be.